Hi, this is Dilara Çınarel, and actually this is a second take of this video because in the previous time I think I have I have forgotten to open the microphone, so 20 minutes of recording has gone in vain, but I don't know, maybe I am now more confident and it's like I have rehearsed. Okay, I'm going to talk in this video about the cycles of 9, and because we are now in the second quarter of 2019, and I learned that there's a number 9 is very powerful, and 2019 ends with 9, and it's a powerful 9-year numerological cycle, because when we look at 2019 and we add its numbers, we get 12, and we also reduce it to 3, which is square root of 9. So we see that this year is a very powerful year for cycles of 9. So this means that we are ending 9-year cycles of things that have started 9 years ago in 2010. It is now funny that we can see most things in 2010 on our Facebook timeline. Or else, I think I don't have a system. Maybe I should build a system like this and look at the things that happens in my life, because I forget things very easily, and it's not a good thing, I know, but I think it happens because I need space in my mind for new things, and there's always happening a lot of things and I learn a lot of things, so this makes me actually forget things directly, but of course I remember when I look at some key things, etc. Okay, and I remember cycles of 19 and also watched that video and learned that it represents the highest vibration level. And I found a good article about cycles of 9, and I'm going to share that with you in a couple of minutes. And also I remember my 2010 when I think about my life. Okay, I don't know everything exactly, but when I remember, if I look at my 2010, it was very energetic, awesome, and happy year. Also, I have, of course, had a few setbacks. It was a different year. I really enjoyed 2010. Okay, maybe there is energy from that I need to recycle now, and with a more mature and self-loving attitude, because if you are in the personal development business, you always look at personal development things, motivation, high performance. You have nothing to do but evolve and expand your horizons. So, of course, my views have changed in the last 9 years a lot. I have learned a lot of things, a lot of interesting things. And actually, after finishing my master's, 2012 was also very interesting year. Also, after that, I have all studying lots of things. So my perspectives and looks through life has changed a lot. Because even if this year, because of this cycles of 9, even if I relive some themes or remember some things, I can see now my reactions have returned to responses to those situations, and I have changed and improved. So I congratulate myself and everybody in my life letting me have this experience. Also, maybe this is now my time to remember my dreams, as we are still in the beginning of the second quarter of this year. Actually, I have a lot of dreams, and we all have dreams, but we never start them, or start some of them, or maybe start them but take a pause sometimes, because life throws at you things. But because this year I have studied a lot of spiritual things, I don't think anything can stop me very easily right now. So I have more resilience to that. Now I'm going to continue with the article. Okay, I found the 9-year cycle in numerological website, and I wanted to share with you this article, just both for my own memory and both for you too, because as I told you, I forget things, and videos really help me remember things. This is a note to myself and all the people that would want to make use of these points of view. Okay, I am now starting the 9-year cycle. The 9-year is the end of an era. It's going back to claim your future. It's like time travel thing, and I love it. I love time travel things. But I love futuristic stuff, time travel. It's my thing. Okay, what we call the beginning is there's a quote from T.S. Eliot, and I'm going to share with you now, that what we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from, and okay, right now I thought about something. If you look at life and if I look at my model of reality, there is no beginning and there is no end. Everything seems to go towards forever with infinite possibilities, infinite realities, dimensions, etc. So we should see that there's always a beginning and end. And the experience and the relationships we make with those experiences are the relationships we make with those experiences are the important things. Okay. The 9-year brings you to the end of a complete 9-year cycle of your life. It's the year to complete unfinished business, reach conclusions, and tie up loose ends. These actions will help you step into the next 9 years of your life without the pressure of unresolved matters of the past pulling you back. These actions, you need to reach unfinished business, reach conclusions, and tie up loose ends. And with this, you can step into the next 9 years of your life without pressure of unresolved matters of the pulling of the past that's pulling you back always. So this is necessary. It is good to know these things. And about unfinished business things, about tying out. For this, I can recommend you another meditation, which is called Die Before You Die by Bentinho Massaro. I think you can also listen to that. It's very refreshing meditation. I like it. It can help you also about ending the 9-year things, about completing unfinished businesses and reaching conclusions. It's also helpful. And there's a saying, as one door opens, I am positive I can't read close. Okay, as one door closes, another opens. But if you refuse to accept that certain doors really have closed and reached to a point of conclusion, you will be unable to recognize new possibilities. The 9-year helps you to face the absolute reality of your past and how it is impacting your present, and then decide how you want to create your future. Your reality is not just a matter of where you stand today or where you want to be tomorrow. It is made up of everything that has ever happened to you, everyone you have ever met, anything you have ever done, and any feeling you have ever felt or denied. And please don't deny your feelings and leave them and listen to them and express them in a modern way, of course. Where you stand today is the result of where you have been. What is a reflection of what was. So if you focus on what is, you're actually in the past. So you should always try to keep your vision on the horizon. But before you can progress, you must release yourself emotionally, mentally, or physically from those aspects. From those points of view, it's not actually you need to cut off with everything, cut off with people, cut off with places. This means that you need to change your perspective and make peace with everything. And from those aspects, you need to release yourself, which no longer serve a purpose. And you should change your perspective, mature it, and those perspectives are chaining you to a point in time that no longer exists. Nobody even knows it. It's time to integrate your past with the present, and with this you achieve a point where you can see all is now, past, present, future. You feel very timeless, and it gives you much strength, I can say. And this is a year of integration. There's also another thing about there, another passion about that. People say that this era of life we have turned into a new dimension or new density or new reality. Here it's now we are trying to live integrating past with present and future, so that potential of your future can be seen and felt. It's like being visionary. This is achieved by accepting the past exactly as it was and feeling everything about it that you have been unable to feel. If you haven't felt something if you haven't been able to feel that you have been very sorry about something, denied it, and if you release it now, it just completes the cycle, and you won't need to relive it again in the next 9 years. And now there comes the transformation chapter. I also say that you can listen to the transformation metamorphosis song by Hilary Duff here. And about numbness, I advise you to listen to Linkin Park Numb. Okay, now let's start. The 9-year brings significant transformation and alterations and improvements to all areas of your life, even though you may not immediately see the positive merits of certain situations. You just need to trust life. You just need to trust life, trust your higher self. When the old buried emotion that is weighing you down is released, life suddenly becomes a lighter experience and is more easily understood and enjoyed. If you feel a sense of numbness and stagnation, it is because you are so close to accepting your full reality as it is, but you are holding the emotions involved inside yourself instead of expressing them out or listening to them. This magnetic pressure prevents forward movement and draws you to a repeat of the very situations you would prefer to avoid. Things come up repeating if you don't learn your lesson. We are all conditioned to believe that emotional expression denotes weakness and is negative. And I can personally confirm this. I have got many confirmations in my life that it is not weakness, and you should express your emotions, like when you are sad or when you are angry. Of course, there are tools that help you in those situations too. But whatever happens, you should listen to your emotions and, in fact, accept them, and recognize them. In fact, emotional expression is our strength and our own self-healing mechanism. Emotional expression, our only means of freedom and ultimate tool of creativity. And our emotions are also our guidance system, like when you think something, if you feel good, go on. Yes, it's true. If you feel bad, okay, change perspective. It might not be true. So that's just that. You should also, it's strength, and it's also helps self-healing. This article says, what I know is good feeling is good, bad feeling is bad. It's really simple. People who refuse to accept the past spend their lives rehashing the same old situations, making the same old mistakes, unable to accept new realities, and dissatisfied with everything. They justify their unsatisfactory existence by blaming others, blaming time, blaming life itself, and blaming themselves. Some people claim to be apart from or above the journey humanity is taking, all the time resenting that they are too afraid to be a part of it. And I assure that this happens if you are a spiritual seeker at times. But you should not get stuck with this point of view. And because none of us has truly evolved into free will yet, I don't know what this means here. It's like we all have free will. I think this means here that we have not evolved to absolute free will. We are all affected by these misunderstandings and some limitations. This year, it is not enough to simply to have an actual intellectual understanding of free will. It's not enough to know that we have free will, it says. You will learn that your feelings are only means of activating personal freedom. Yes, every moment you just need to ask yourself what excites me the most right now and decide on that to go on that journey. This year of endings and conclusions offers you the chance to free yourself of the erroneous beliefs that have always caused unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and stagnation. The 9-year teaches you how to break free from the past by releasing your grip on it. Without this understanding, you will forever be a victim of something that was once happened to you. It's time to heal. Okay, it's not relevant right now, and you have changed so many timelines, and it's a different feature and a different feature with a different path now. Actually, you are the only one maybe that has lived that. Nothing new happens in the 9 year until the necessary endings take place. The more you strive to begin something new, without first releasing the old, the more resistance your life will give you, and resistance, we don't want it. If you do not make an effort to accept your emotional realities, you may find that your history will repeat itself in the next 9 years like a repeating theme. And it's a waste of time. This is a year to go back over your life's continuous journey and consider everything that happened to you. Okay? There will be things you don't want to remember, memories you may be blocking from your consciousness, like changing the past thinking. These are the very events and situations that need to be addressed. These are the heavy loads that are weighing on you and like an anchor preventing you from moving forward. Okay. The more genuine intent you have to allow forgotten memories to resurface. You should be ready to express express your forgotten memories. You should be ready to resurface them, and it will be easier it will become to accept the 9 years healing process, or healing and conclusion, we can say. It is this sheer weight of past and present emotion that causes depression. Even though we try to fool ourselves into believing that depression can be avoided by avoiding these emotions. No avoidance, please. This pretense creates deeper denial and eventually deeper depression. If you find yourself dwelling on certain emotions such as anger, fear, or grief to the extent that you cannot live constructively, there is a good chance you are using these emotions as an excuse for continuing to deny another emotion, which is even more deeply buried. If you dwell on an emotion, there is a good chance that you are using these emotions as an excuse for continuing to deny another emotion, which is even more deeply buried, that you can't see, and you don't even know what the other buried emotion is. Denial is no longer an option on this earth. Please don't deny anything. It is denial that has caused many of the dire problems that humanity faces today. This applies as much to your personal life as it does to life in general, to life on earth in general. So this is very good. Okay. Being afraid to feel your feelings is a natural response, but fear, like other feelings, must be allowed to follow its own evolutionary process. I try to look at fear as face everything and rise. Facing it is the best. When you face your fears, it's gone. It must be allowed to move. When you cling to your fear, you refuse to accept its ability to help you. By stopping its movement, you in turn become paralyzed by it. By stopping its movement, you in turn become paralyzed by it. Feel your fear, accept its presence, recognize it, allow it to move through you and out of you. This process develops courage, being brave, and the ability to recognize that those things which really do not need to be feared, and those which need not be feared at all. Some things some things are not need to be feared, and some things are not to be feared at all. Your feelings are your senses, and instincts are your feelings are your senses, and instincts are vital to your survival. Your feelings are your senses, and instincts, and these are vital to your survival. Feelings is like the emotional guidance system, and it's free, and you should use it. Be honest with yourself. Mere positive thinking can do more harm than good if you are not simultaneously feeling that way. Your thoughts and feelings are two very different energies and must be experienced separately so that you can tell them apart. And when your masculine thoughts and feminine feelings make peace and joint forces, your personal power to survive and prosper increases significantly, and your entire being evolves. The 9 year takes you in what seems like the wrong direction, backwards. But this is the direction you must take in order to find the unfinished issues which are preventing you from going forward. It's natural for the 9 year cycle to be an emotional one. Not only will you be dealing with emotions from the past, but also with new emotional situations in the present, which help you trigger the old feelings which need to be released. And there's also another video by Bentinho named "Be Triggerless, Be Free," Also check that out. Even if you are a triggerless person, some emotions come up. They really trigger things from past, and this is because they need to be released. This year's circumstances may be reenactments of the past. In different forms, representing the consequences of certain actions, inaction, beliefs, and attitudes. This year's circumstances may be reenactments of the past in different forms. I list something, and in different form they are coming to me now. They are representing the consequences of certain actions or inactions or beliefs and attitudes. You cannot live fully in the present if part of you is stuck in the past. Okay? Therefore, you will want to go back and retrieve those parts of yourself that are stuck there. Oh, and it's like it's the integration again. Generosity and compassion play important roles now. Through a greater depth of feeling in yourself, you will become more sympathetic to other people's realities and more aware of how you and they are compounding certain problems by denying the feelings involved. Okay? You become master of your emotions and feelings. You will also become aware of the difference between compassion and guilt. If you are reluctantly involved in something, guilt may have convinced you that it's the right thing to do. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but the only way to be sure is by letting your feelings guide you. It is in the 9th year that we realize the extent to which guilt keeps us from achieving happiness and how much we have denied guilt by reversing into blame. Oh, okay. It is in the 9th year that we realize the extent to which guilt keeps us from achieving happiness and how much we have denied this guilt by reversing it into the blame. Okay, if there is guilt, we should see it, I think. In the 9th year, unhappy memories arise so they can be healed and cleansed, creating more inner space for happiness to resurface. Inaccurate beliefs are replaced by new truths and potentials. As you accept what has happened to you, you develop a clearer picture of what you want to happen. And you can create a better future from here, I think. The old you becomes the present you, and your will or your desire determines the future you, because your will and your desire, your free will, there is the guidance from your higher self of what you should do, what is the right way. Okay. Not all endings have unhappy emotions attached. Some situations will be concluded, bringing you much relief. Don't assume the worst. Accept that your past is the ground you had to cover in order to get where you want to be. Your understanding of this will make your 9 year one of the most exhilarating and dynamic journeys you will ever travel. Okay, they made a good ending. I liked it. Okay. Accept that your past is the ground you had to cover in order to get where you want to be. Your understanding of this will make your 9 year one of the most exhilarating and dynamic journeys you will ever travel. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this may help you too. This has been Dilara Çınarel, and see you in my next video. And I'm thinking about making comparisons with my 9 year posts and talk about them throughout this year. Maybe I may do this a couple of times because I really liked things that I shared 9 years ago. Actually, I like looking at Facebook memories all the time, but it had become too much to look at. So focusing on just 1 year and looking at 9-year memories and cycles will help me integrating and concluding things a lot. Thank you for listening. See you next time. This has been Dilara Çınarel. Have a good night or have a good day or have a good week. Always be good. See you.